Hello, Miami University and all Oxford community. I'm Olivia Frampton.
And I'm Sydney Pinchok, your co-host for tonight's show. Welcome back to Red Hawk TV.
On February 27th, RTV reporters Kyle Turnbull and Cordelia Stubblefield joined the University of Pittsburgh student broadcast Pitt to the Point to discuss Miami's recent iced out protest and the response from the university. Here's a sneak peek at the segment. The full version can be found on our YouTube channel.
Pitt students protesting ICE are not alone. College campuses across the country have seen demonstrations, big and small.
This week, we're joined by Cordelia Stubblefield and Kyle Turnbull, two anchors from Miami University's Red Hawk TV, to discuss their campus's recent ICE out protest and administration's response. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, so first and foremost, Miami University student organizations like the Ohio Student Association, the Young Democratic Socialists of America, and the College Democrats, organized this ICE out protest in January. So what was that event like for students on campus?
Well, the event itself was very peaceful. Usually when events like this happen, University Police does show up just to make sure nothing happens, and they were there at that time. It was a pretty notable crowd. People had made signs and there was some chanting, but there wasn't any violence. It was more of a community building event than anything else. Lots of students were feeling very frustrated, and many showed up to show their support for the event.
Yeah, what was the general response to this this event by the general student population?
There was not any sort of backlash. Most of the students agreed that this protest was something that had to be held. It was specifically a walkout. So all of the students that were there agreed that this was more important than class time. And it was pretty much a universally agreed thing that this was what should be happening right now.
Now, Miami University sometimes has the reputation of being a little more politically conservative. Do you think this is a correct assumption, and how common would you say protests like this are on Miami's campus?
Yeah, I would say that's largely a correct assumption. I mean, Miami's located in Oxford, Ohio, and it's surrounded by some deep red rural areas. The Cincinnati suburbs, where Miami pulls a lot of its student body from, are some of the most red suburbs in the country, actually. And Miami's known for producing conservative leaders like our current governor, Mike DeWine, former Speaker of the House, Paul Ryan. So there's definitely some conservative history here at Miami. I would say protests are pretty rare here. It's a pretty politically inactive student body, I would say, as a whole. I would say in my 4 years, this was the largest protest I've seen by a significant amount. Obviously, there was some activity during the nationwide protests over Gaza. There was a No Kings protest, but both of those were much more subdued and much smaller than this, I would say.
Also on Friday, February 27th, the Miami Board of Trustees approved the new construction of an arena on what is currently Cook Field. Next week, Red Hawk TV is doing a deep dive into the why behind it all, exploring the history of this project, as well as hearing student opinions from students around campus and testimonials from people who were at the board meeting. Join us right here on Red Hawk TV's YouTube page on Wednesday, March 18th to learn more.
That's a big chunk of money. I think a new arena or facility will be nice.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. It sucks to see like a large green area get taken up. I think it'll be good for the other students.
I think it's a misuse of like resources and funding.
I don't know. I don't think it's a very well-informed decision.
Build our reputation maybe as like a basketball school.
And I feel like it takes something away from like the incoming class.
I think it will be nice to have like a large athletic facility.
So it kind of sucks.
Welcome to Gaming with Boston and Landry.
My name is Boston.
And I am Landry.
And today we're going to see if this Wii turns on.
It does.
Tune in next week to see if the Xbox turns on.
Hello, I'm Andrew Elvis, and welcome back to the Red Hawk TV Sports Update. With March Madness just around the corner, let's take a look at one final look at how both our men's and women's basketball teams are doing. Starting off strong, the women's team finished the regular season first in the MAC and had a program record 25 wins, going 25-6 overall and 16-2 in MAC play respectively. The Red Hawks enter the MAC tournament as the #1 seed, and now let's take a brief look at what makes them so special. Miami is led by first-team All-MAC forward Amber Tretter, who averages 15 points a game and 8 rebounds. The Red and White are also complemented by third-team All-MAC guard Tamar Singer, who averages 10 points and 7 assists, and Amber Scala, who is a 13-point bucket getter. The Red Hawks really find success on the defensive end of the ball, as they also force 21 turnovers a game and really suffocate opposing offenses to only 59 points per game. Under MAC Coach of the Year Glenn Box, the Red Hawks have been a revelation in Season 3 and will look to make March Madness for the first time in 18 years. The MAC tournament begins on Wednesday with Miami taking on 8-seed Kent State in round 1 at 11 a.m. Turning to the men's team now, this team is incredible. After beating the Bobcats on the road for the first time in 15 years, Miami ends the regular season going 31-0. This is an amazing feat that was celebrated, but for MAC Coach of the Year Travis Steele, the Red Hawks know the job isn't finished. This Miami group is headlined by the offense. They score the second most points in the country at 91 a game. They have the best field goal percentage at 53% and are the 9th best three-point shooting team of the country at 39%. The Red Hawks are led by a talented guard combo in MAC Player of the Year Peter Suter and Luke Skowjak, who can both get buckets at a premium. They also have a strong front court presence that is accompanied by the trio of MAC forwards in Ian Elmer, Antoine Woolfolk, and Brant Byers. Overall, this group is hungry, and they aren't satisfied with just 31 wins. They want to make it back to the big dance. The number 20 ranked Miami Redhawks will open up the MAC tournament as a 1 seed on Thursday at 11 a.m. as they battle the number 8 seed UMass Minutemen. Miami aims to make it back to March Madness for the first time in 19 years, and with their perfect 31-0 record, they are likely in, but depending on what happens in Cleveland, they still could be selected as an at-large bid or win the MAC outright by going 3-0 in 3 days. To hear a little more on this goal, let's take a look at an exclusive interview with Justin Kirby and Trey Perry.
Hey Red Hawk TV, I'm Andrew Elvis, and I'm joined with 2 members of the Miami men's basketball team with Justin Kirby and Trey Perry. Thank you both for taking some time out of your schedule today.
No problem.
So first of all, you guys are both freshmen. First, Trey, you went to Lakota East, and then Kirby, you went to Fishers. Why did you guys want to come to Miami?
I would say for me, I'm a hometown kid, so, of course, you grow up with the Xaviers, the UCs, the Miamis, and, coming here with the coaching staff, I knew Carl growing up, Coach Richburg. He went to the local gym that I went to, so I had a connection with him, and, I just knew on my visits and everything that they had faith in me and belief that, they would coach me, develop me, stuff like that, so that's why I chose here for sure.
So yeah, I'm from Indiana. It's a little different. Just throughout the process, I think this is the best fit for me, just family-wise and field. Getting a feel when I came on my visit. The coaches are amazing. There's obviously a couple of Indiana high school guys. A couple of them played at Pike, so I knew them from there. But just on the field, the family field, how to play and practice, how hard everyone goes. It's definitely something I want to be a part of.
And since this is your first year, I mean, this has been a little bit different of a year for a lot of people. You guys have gotten a lot of big minutes throughout the season. First for you, Trey, I mean, take me through that Western Michigan game. You got the call a couple hours before tip, and then you ended up getting a game winner in your first start. How was that?
It was special, man. Like, before the game, obviously Luke was down that game, so, we were like, but we knew, coaches always emphasize the next man up mentality. So, I knew I was ready. I've been working all season. All the guys had confidence in me. So, just throughout the game at the point guard spot, just doing what I had to do in the last play. Coach had drew it up for me, and I just knew they had faith in me, and I had faith in myself, and I got it done. Big moment for sure.
And for you, Justin, it was a home game against UMass. That one was on national TV. Got the start against the Minutemen. How was that feeling, especially playing in front of a home crowd like this?
I mean, it was just an incredible experience. I got to call up Coach House for it too that game. Luke was out again. But just something you just take advantage of. You got that chance and just prove everyone that you belong here and that you belong to be on that spot. So something I would never trade it again.
And last question for you guys. You're 31-0. You guys are ranked, but still some games to play. The MAC tournament's this week. How are you guys feeling for that?
You know, it's exciting, man. It's our first MAC tournament, you know, so we got a lot to look forward to. And, you know, with the season that we had thus far, we got a lot of, buzz going in there, but we got to keep the main thing. You know, the goal to start the season wasn't go 31-0. You know, the goal is to, win the MAC and go March Madness. So, the opportunity to do that next week, that's what we got to go do.
Yeah, you pretty much said it. The goal wasn't to go 31-0, but it happened, and we're still going to win a MAC championship, so that's pretty much the goal.
That's all I got for you guys. Thanks for your time. Really appreciate it. Cheer on the Red Hawks this week and then potentially March Madness if they get the call. Thanks again for watching, and we'll turn it back to our hosts in the studio.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Red Hawk TV. I'm Olivia Frampton.
And I'm Sydney Pinchak. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Red Hawk Television MU.
Ladies and gentlemen, Clump.